What's up, everybody? So if you've been trying to grow a paid community, but you're struggling to get people to buy from you, you might want to rethink that strategy. And today we're going to talk about a different approach that you might want to think about. So starting with a paid community first is the wrong approach for about 90% of the people out there, especially those of you that are just getting started. If you're starting from scratch with little or no audience and you expect people to magically buy from you without first establishing trust and authority, there's a good chance you're going to continue to struggle. And so in this episode, Jeff and I are going to discuss an alternative approach and what I believe is the best strategy for a majority of you people out there. And it's called the free community funnel. And so I'm going to walk you through exactly how this funnel works. I'm going to talk about why it's so effective, and we're going to show you some real results from our own communities. So stick around and let's jump right in. With a lot of people want to start paid communities from the very beginning. And in my opinion, for 90% of the people that are starting communities, that is the wrong approach, Jeff. And I have a few arguments around that that I think make a lot of sense, at least to me. So the first one is that if you're just getting started and you don't have much of an audience, Jeff, that means you're going to be marketing to cold audiences. These are people that don't know you, they don't like you yet, and they don't trust you. Okay. And so if you haven't established that trust and authority with people yet, it's really hard to get people to buy from you, right? They're not just going to magically buy from you unless you just have an amazing offer and you have the ability to get that in front of people really easily. Okay. So that's where the audience building and stuff like that. So if you don't have an audience, you've got to have a really strong offer right off the bat to get people to convert. Okay. And a lot of people probably haven't even developed those skills yet if they haven't started building an audience. Okay. So that's one thing, right? And so right now, the coaching space and the digital products and all these things that people call it are information products or whatever. We're going through a trust recession. So your potential customers are now way more skeptical than they ever have been, and they've got their guard up because we've all been burned in the past. We've spent a lot of money on different programs that have overpromised and under-delivered, and so it's just people are way more skeptical. And just in general, I think there's a lot of lack of trust out there just in general. Now, so that's my point number one. Anything to add to that, Joe?
Well, and I just think that the only thing to also consider is that it's one thing to get people to pay attention to you. It's another thing to get them to actually pay you. And so what happens is that when there's a lack of trust, you ultimately aren't going to get any of your analytical buyers at all. You might get your super hot, emotional, I'm ready right now, I need help right now. And that's used to work great in with ads and with cold traffic. Now people want to get to know you more. And so what better way to do that than inside of a free community? Because that's where that can take place, where you get a chance for them to see you for the expert that you truly are. So I think that's kind of, again, falls right in line with what you're saying, this idea that from the minute they become aware of who you are, they're not necessarily in that hyper buy state, and they aren't necessarily, maybe they're emotional, maybe they do something immediately. But we're just looking at a lot more people being analytical. And those are the two types of buyers: people that are right now, and yet people are like, well, let me just check this out. So that's what that community does, and why the free works so well for them.
Yeah, exactly. And so first of all, building the trust and authorities, because we need to do that if we want people to buy from us. So that's my number one kind of reasoning for this. Okay. Also, the second reason is I believe with starting a free community is the right move, because if you're trying to grow an audience on social media, YouTube, or wherever you're growing your audience, if you're doing that from scratch, you really are just borrowing that audience, right? So that basically means that you are at the mercy of these companies and their algorithms. And if your account gets shut down, the algorithm changes, or ad costs skyrocket, it has the potential to really affect and maybe even crush your business. And I've seen it multiple times where, people that had Facebook groups in the past had either gotten their accounts hacked, and so they were locked out of their account, or the Facebook just decided to shut down their groups. And these are large groups that was their main source of traffic and business, right? So to me, it makes sense to move your audience from these platforms where, again, you're borrowing that audience to a platform where you actually own that audience. And that could be an email list, but makes sense to me to make it a community as well, because with a community, people are seeing your face, you're interacting with them way more often if they're engaged in that community. And I think it's just extremely important, and it helps you to avoid these types of business disasters where your ad accounts get shut down, or your Facebook group gets shut down, your account gets hacked, whatever the case may be. And I believe that makes the community a very valuable asset, the free community. Okay. So that helps you to build an audience on a platform you own. And again, it also helps you to build that trust and authority with your audience, especially in this trust recession that we're experiencing. So that was my argument as to why most people should start with a free community. And now with Skool's upcoming tiered pricing and subscription-based courses, there's a lot more ways to monetize that free community. Any thoughts on that, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing to consider too is that, it's one thing if I post on Instagram and somebody can like it. It takes like a quarter of a second to like it. I mean, big deal. But I think there's something about people moving from a social media platform into a community that just shows me that they're more likely to become a buyer, or at least they're more likely to, basically engage with me to find more information about, whereas with Facebook, it's easy to join a group. Only about maybe 5-10% of what you even post, people even see in your group, and it's so noisy and everything. So I just think that it creates a little bit of like positive friction in the sales cycle when they move from social media into a community. They just seem to be like they're more likely to buy. And I think that in itself is a good, thing to keep in mind, that it's a positive thing to create a tiny bit of friction so you get more, likely people to buy from you.
Yeah. And you're basically building an audience that now you have their attention on that platform, and you can start to put offers in front of them. We do this all the time. This is how we just, got people into our 10K community boot camp. And so it's just a lot of positives to build this free community. And I think if you're starting a paid community right off the bat, you're not going to be building that audience that you own. You could do it with your email list, but you're not building it in multiple places. And I think that's just a valuable asset to have. And if you are trying to build an audience on a paid community, it's just going to be a smaller audience, right? So those are just my arguments. I think it makes a lot of sense to start with a free community. Now let's actually talk about, what a free community funnel looks like. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. Basically, this is how it works, right? So the primary goal of our free community funnel is to book sales calls. Okay. So we recommend when you're first getting started that you should be booking sales calls. First of all, and I'm going to make some arguments for this, it's the easiest way to convert members into your paid stuff, period. Okay. You can do webinars, you can do challenges, you can do all these other things. But when you're first getting started, the easiest way to get people to convert is just by having a conversation one-on-one with that person. Right. And secondly, when you get on a sales call, you're going to be able to start to build relationships with your members. You're going to learn about what problems they're trying to solve. And that's going to help you to create more products or add things to your products and services to help them solve the problems that they're actually experiencing, right? And the only way you can really understand that is by talking to them, right? You can do polls and stuff in the community too, but really good data to just have those conversations with your members. And if you're not making six figures yet, you are not too good to get on sales calls. I see people all the time like planning around, I don't want to do sales calls, but they haven't made any money online. Like, listen to Alex Hermosi talked about this. Just do it. You're not too good to do it. And if you're not making six figures, and I believe everyone should start that way and get lead flow coming in. You just need people coming into your community. You need to be talking to those people. And then once you get that lead flow coming in, you can add new friction, or you can add a new sales mechanism to that process if you don't want to be doing sales calls forever. But at first, I think it's pretty important to do those sales calls. Jeff, anything there?
100%, because most importantly, you're getting data from basically the people in your community. And when I say data, what I mean is when somebody either buys or doesn't buy from you, you're getting an understanding of what's either the reason they're buying or why they're not buying. So for me, that becomes massively important, because that data then can then be used in that one-to-many approach. Because if I'm getting consistently the same reason why people always are buying,
Sure.
then and I know that, I want to put that inside of a one-to-many approach. If I get the same objection over and over and over again, then that means that there's something I'm doing in my sales process that isn't helping them already come to the call ready to say, okay, I'm past that objection point, which means that I should make sure I put that inside of my one-to-many. So I just think it just should be absolutely a prerequisite before you do a one-to-many approach that you do some sales calls to get to know your actual clients that are in your community. And that's the second point, is make sure you're getting the right people in your community. Because at the end of the day, A community, it's not a vanity metric. Oh, wow, I've got 10, 15,000 people in there. If they're not the right people, they're not your perfect clients, you don't really want them in there. It's better to have 1,000 people that really would want to work with you in there and be able to truly help them, opposed to this idea of, I got this big community for the sake of a community. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's about data. I agree with you 100%. Like, get that data, because from that, you can then move into a one-to-many approach.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and then there are people on the call talking about that they've been doing, paid calls for a while, which is great. And that's, but when you're starting this new community, you probably need to start with that still, just to learn, okay, how are we going to, and then you can start to figure out ways to convert them in different ways, because when they're first starting to come in, you've got just a few members in there. You need to start to build those relationships as well. And I think that's going to be pretty important. If you'd like to get access to our Community Launch Secrets course, where we show you how to launch a brand new community and get your first 100 members in just 10 days or less, then I'll drop a link in the description so you can join our free community and get instant access, and we'll see you inside. So also with the free community, traffic becomes really, really simple, or the process of driving traffic. All we do is we drive traffic wherever we're driving traffic from. Our big channels are YouTube and Meta ads right now. We do a little bit of Facebook organic, but we need to expand to other channels. That's what we're working on. And so we just drive traffic straight to the about page of our Skool community. The Skool community about page works great to convert paid traffic, and really, any traffic, but way better than I think other funnels actually do converting paid traffic that we've seen in the past. So we drive all of our traffic just straight to the About Us page. And so all we're actually doing is just driving traffic to the About Us page. They come into our community, which we'll talk about in just a second, and then we convert them. Okay. So it's a very simple funnel, way less complex than anything I used to do in the past, and works way better, which is awesome. Now, when we do drive traffic from these different channels, I never promote the community. I don't think that's the right way of doing it, because in my personal opinion, I don't think people really care that much about joining communities. I do think they care about getting a tool that's going to help them do something faster and easier, or a training that's going to teach them something, how to solve a problem that they're trying to do. So we've always promoted lead magnets or courses inside of our free community. And that's how we get people to come in, right? We're not promoting the community. Now test it, try for yourself, but I think you're going to see a better result if you actually promote lead magnets or courses. Jeff, anything on traffic?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, what people care about is what's in it for them, right? So at the end of the day, that's where those lead magnets are so important. Like, what tool, what lead magnet can you give somebody that makes them realize that you have what they want? That's a far bigger reason for them to join a community. The community becomes a bonus, because you do have people that do care more about relationship and that type of thing. But for the most part, we as entrepreneurs, we want that kind of next shiny object that's going to help us really get to that next level. Now, I'm not saying chase shiny objects. I'm simply saying create a lead magnet that people want so bad that it becomes their shiny object to join your community, and then deliver once they're in. So I couldn't agree with you more. Like, focus on getting them in your community with an amazing lead magnet, and there's tons of different ideas out there. Maybe we should do an episode on that too at some point.
Yeah. So basically, that's how we're getting people into the community. Again, using our traffic channels, social media, YouTube and Facebook ads are our two best channels, getting them into the community. And then once they actually join the community, we're capturing their lead information. So we're capturing their email, we're capturing their phone number with our membership questions. So those are the two of the questions that we ask when people join our community. And then once we do that, we have a zap that zaps them into GoHighLevel, which is our CRM. And we follow up with those people via text and email. Okay. So that's one of our two methods of our mechanisms for booking calls. One is that email, one is text messages. And then once they get inside of our community, we have multiple different mechanisms that work to book calls. So we have the automated DM and just DM follow-up that happens in Skool. We have call to actions in all of the lessons of our courses with links to book a call. We have links inside of our pin post. So we have a very specific pin post that talks about the value of our call and booking that call. And then we also do call to actions in the posts that we're making inside the community. And so we actually know that all of these different mechanisms are actually work to book calls, Jeff. So I, a long time ago, decided to create tracking links for every one of these different mechanisms inside the community and also in the CRM. So I know for a fact that all of these different sources book calls. Now, some are better than others. I would say that DMs in Skool, and then the SMS is probably our two best. And then the courses actually do pretty good too. So all of those mechanisms work pretty good to book a call. So we're driving traffic into the community. And then once they're in there, this machine is working to get people on the call. And then on that call, we can present our offers, right? Whether that's high ticket, whether that's paid community, or whatever you want to make, whatever offers you want to make on that call. Any thoughts on that, Jeff?
Yeah, no, I would just say that it is a multifaceted approach. So make sure that you kind of use all of them. I think for us, even we have it in our description. We actually have a link under the description. So like take advantage of all the different space. But ultimately, the point you're making, which I can't agree more with, is they get in your community, give them some value, and get them to a call. And from that is basically the best, easiest marketing that I've ever done or seen in 30 plus years of doing business, online. So to me, guys, this is so simple, and don't complicate it. Use this funnel and get them on a call, and from there, and the rest will fall into place. So just do it.
Yeah. So now let's just to show you some results from like what we're doing. So, and this is insane, Jeff. I checked this the other day. So back to our conversation around booking calls. So once we got to the point where we were booking calls consistently, and we've done that for probably a year, we got to the point where, we're talking to, some less than qualified people. So we decided at that point, let's add a little bit more friction to our process. And so we started taking group onboarding calls as our sales mechanism, and it's working great. And the cool thing about this, and we would only learned this by doing the calls, Jeff, right?
Absolutely.
So we added the group onboarding, but again, we would only have learned that by going through the process of booking the calls, right? And we decided, okay, let's try a group onboarding process to make sales. And that also allowed us to book more calls because we weren't limited by a salesperson's calendar, right? They only have so many slots in the day. And so that limits the number of calls that they can actually book. This is crazy, Jeff. All right. So let me share my screen. So this month we booked 292 calls with this new process.
That's amazing.
And we grew our community, I think 27% this month, our paid community, which is pretty awesome. And I'll show you our ads. And this is our ad tracking sheet. I need to update it. But so this is legit our numbers. We spent $3,300 and we made $24,000 in revenue this month, Jeff. And we are booking calls at $18 per book call. I think the average benchmark for booking calls in the coaching space is $150, $200. So these are our numbers using the free community funnel that we're talking about, right, Jeff? And so it's just an awesome funnel. I mean, it really is. And I just think it's a better solution for 90% of the people out there that are just getting started. Start with the free community, and now with the new feature of the tiered pricing and everything, there's a lot of options on how you can monetize that free community. So back to the reasoning behind it. First of all, it's a great place to build an audience that you own off of platforms that you don't own. Secondly, it gives you a place to build that know, like, and trust that you need in order to get people to purchase from. And so you see the reasoning why. I think it makes a lot of sense and I think it'll make sense to you. You've seen the results that it actually can achieve. I guess the only question is, why not start? Why are you wanting to push it to and now there are people that are successful just starting a paid community. I just think it's hard. Community Builders Elite is our paid community where we literally give you everything you need to launch, grow, and monetize a very profitable and fun community, including the roadmap, the coaching and the training, the automated systems, and the AI tools that are going to help you to do it faster and easier. So if you want to come check us out, I'll drop a link in the description so you can join us and see what we're all about. So we'll see you inside.